All right, here we go. So I finally get to really, I always beat people when they activate Maxx C against me while I'm playing tier limits. Like, tier limits don't care about Maxx C, bro. If I'm being honest with you, don't care about Maxx C because the more you summon, the more fuel to my fire, the more shit I'm interrupting you, anyways. So tier limits don't care about your Maxx C, my boy. Here we go. So, anyways, go into the standby phase. First thing I'm going to do is special summon Sheeran. My opponent activates a Maxx C right here, and trust me, Maxx C is going to backfire hard against him. So I go ahead and pitch one of my Maxx Cs, and I am going to mill 5 cards right here and then activate Scream to grab a trap, activate Medora to basically shuffle. I was basically trying to shuffle Pearl Reno back into my deck so that way I could activate Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. Probably did it too early because in the next set of mills from the Elgato, I end up milling it again. So I kind of wasted a shuffler right there, but it is A-OK. So go ahead and grab Rhino Heart right here. Go into Kid Kalos. Activate Kid Kalos to grab Merly. Then we're going to activate Kid Kalos one more time to special summon Merly. Discarding the Kid Kalos to mill an additional 8 cards. And I hit Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, which is amazing. And then we are going to bring out a Rhino Heart right here. And then we're just going to go into Sprite Elf with these 2 cards. Sprite Elf will revive the Diviner, allowing me to go into level 6, and then we'll grab a Baron de Fleur. Now, I did send the Keldo, and the reason I sent Keldo is because I had already used Medora, so now I can shuffle back a few cards plus the field spell, so then that way I can actually activate Rainbow Bridge of Salvation to actually grab the Tortoise plus the field spell. So here we go. Put the field spell onto the field. Now I can pop a card, and then we are going to set the Exchange of Spirit and the Sulliek just in case he has a way to get rid of the Exchange of Spirit in my graveyard. And then also, let's look at our hand here. So we got our own Maxx C. We also have Havness. We got the Tortoise. We have Herald of Orange Light. If I Maxx C draw into a an Ishizu card, basically I can activate Herald of Orange Light to negate a monster and pop it. We also got negate, Omni negate with Baron de Fleur. Sprite Elf can revive something during the main phase. We got the Sulliek, so if I can get a tier limit through the revival effect or through activating Havness, then Sulliek will become live. And this card is pretty much always live as long as we have a shuffler in my graveyard, which I do not. So this card is only live if I can manage to get a shuffler in my graveyard, or if I can manage to shuffle a tier limit back into my deck on my opponent's turn. That is very much possible if I can get Havness onto the field, or if I could just really activate the Maxx C here and start milling. So my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards in his hand, 18 cards in his deck, and 11 cards in his graveyard. He is going to draw, making it 12 cards in his hand. And then I activate Maxx C just so he can get a taste of what it feels like to get that Maxx C. And he activates Crossout Designator. Now, when he activates his Crossout Designator, let's take a look and see. He's got 1, 2 Maxx Cs in his graveyard right here. Everybody runs Maxx C at 3. Nobody really runs it at 1 or 2. So he calls Call by the Grave. When I saw that he called Call by the Grave, that told me that he didn't have another Maxx C in his deck here. It has to be in his hand. So let's go ahead and bait out that last Maxx C. Why not? So the first thing I'm going to do when he activates this Vashuda right here is activate my Sprite Elf. And then there it is. That's his Maxx C. This Maxx C that he just activated is the end of the game. Basically, I beat him. I can very easily deck him out on his turn. I got 16 cards to get out of his deck. Is that possible, Mike? Mike, you're talking about 16 summons on your opponent's turn? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Watch this. Summon Diviner. Since Exchange of Spirit is in my graveyard, we're going to send Elgato That means that's 10 cards. 10 cards in his deck that's about to be missing. Activate a Gito right here, and I send. And what do I hit? I hit a Kelbeck. So I'm going to put Kelbeck as one of the last chains plus the Scream. He got 5 cards left in his deck. Check this out. He's got 5 cards left in his deck, and I got Kelbeck in my hand. Watch this. Activate the Kelbeck in my hand once this all resolves right here. And look how many summons I'm doing. So even if he did manage to have more cards, that's 4 summons, 5 summons right there. That's 5 summons I was going to do, which means he would have gotten 5 card draws. Even if he had a shuffler, if he doesn't have Exchange of Spirit in his grave plus a shuffler, basically he would have to have 2 shufflers in his deck, Medora and Keldo, and shuffle back 6 cards to keep from getting decked out right here. Not only that, not only does he have to do that, but he also has like if he only has 1 shuffler plus Exchange of Spirit, he's safe. If he has a shuffler plus or 2 shufflers plus Exchange of Spirit, he's safe. But watch this. Kelbeck summons, sends Vashuda back, and that is a GG, my boy. His own Maxx cooked him. Tier limits don't care about Maxx, my boy. You can activate Maxx and I'm just gonna cook your shit. Easy claps, my boy.